Have you ever lost a loved one, yet still feel connected? Do you believe there is life after this life? Welcome to Still Connected. Welcome to our show, Still Connected, Maryanne.
Thank you.
You live in Billerica, Massachusetts.
Yes.
So tell us how long you've lived in Massachusetts.
I've lived in Billerica for about 30 years.
Okay, so today you come to the show because you would like to talk about some of the past loved ones.
Yes.
So how many people have you lost in your family?
4 from my immediate family, my mother, father, 1 brother, 1 sister, as well as my mother and father-in-law.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about each relationship and who would you like to connect today?
I'd most like to connect with my sister Patty.
Mm-hmm.
She died in 2005 from ovarian cancer. She was 53, and she lived out in Portland, Oregon. She left my brother-in-law and 2 children who are still out on the West Coast.
Yes, it must be very hard for you.
Yeah, I miss her very much. I was with her when she died, which was actually a blessing, but I think about her very often.
Well, it's good that you had a chance to say goodbye to her.
Yes, yes.
So you must be very close.
We were, even though we were separated distance-wise, we spoke often and we had a close connection.
Okay. So could you tell us a couple of stories of you and your sister Patty?
So after she was diagnosed, I went out to the West Coast as often as I could, and I would rent a car and drive us to the beach, or we would go to the zoo, or anything. She needed to have some days where she was not a cancer patient.
Yeah.
And then at one point when she was in remission, she and I and our other 2 sisters, we took a sister's weekend to New Orleans and just spent the weekend in the city, which was really wonderful to have some quality time together.
Mm-hmm. And how about your relationship with your parents?
My mother died in 1992, so almost 22 years ago. And she passed away at age 68 from lung cancer. Mm-hmm. And I was with her when she died also. She was in hospice care in our home. And I miss her very much. I mostly regret that she didn't get to see her grandchildren grow up, because I would like her to know what they've accomplished. You know, that would be very wonderful.
Yes, yes.
And my father died in 1997, complications from a stroke. Mm-hmm. And I miss him, of course, but I think I was really, more connected to my mother maybe than my father, but I miss him, And I had a brother, Tim, who also died in 1992, just 3 months after my mother. He died from a brain tumor, which had started off as retinoblastoma, cancerous tumors of the eyes. He was blind from the time he was about 2 years old. And he went through public school, he graduated from college, he had a job, he had a seeing eye dog. And when he was about 30, that retinoblastoma remanifested itself as a brain tumor. And so he died, and I did not get to say goodbye to him before he died, which is a regret that I've had for many, many years.
I understand. So how does it make you feel whenever you think of the relationship and the past ones?
Well, I think just as with my mom, one of my biggest regrets is that, my dad and my brother didn't get to see how the rest of the family progressed. They, you know, they didn't get to see the accomplishments of their children or their grandchildren. In my brother's case, his nieces and nephews. And I think they would be proud of how the rest of us have been able to stick together. You know, we make a point of getting together, the remaining siblings, as often as we can. And I think that they would, I feel like they're missing out. We miss them and they're missing out.
Yeah, and so today on the show, we're going to have psychic medium Regina Sall come in a few minutes. And so are you excited to?
I am. I want to believe that there can be a connection.
Yeah, that'll be great. And as it happens sometimes, we don't know which spirits are coming.
Right.
And so I'm hoping that you will get a good reading from Regina today, and hopefully that you will get to connect with your sister. Most importantly, that you want to meet and connect. And so do you still feel the connection with your sister?
Sometimes I'll see something that reminds me of her. When she was very ill and going through chemo, they told her to concentrate on an object to help divert the pain, and that object was a ladybug. So to this day, every time I see a ladybug, I think of Patty.
Oh.
So, you know, so that's still close in my head. And recently, maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I dreamed about my mom. And I almost never dream about her. In the 22 years that she's been gone, I might have dreamed about her 5 times. And I try to dream about her, but I just can't make it happen. So recently I dreamed about her, and I don't remember what the dream was. I just remember feeling very glad that I had had the dream. So.
Well, so let's take a break and I'll be right back with Regina Sall.
Terrific. Hi.
Hi.
So Regina, I have Maryanne here as a guest.
Hello, Maryanne.
Hi.
And she has quite a few spirits that she would like to connect. But I'm
Okay.
not going to tell you.
Thank
I don't
you.
know who is going to come. And so just take it over, Regina.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming, Maryanne.
Thank you.
Right now, I can feel that there's a woman is stepping up. And I feel, I mean, have you had a medium? Maybe I should just back up. Are you familiar with mediumship?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just continue on then. There's a woman who's stepped up. I actually feel like, I'm not seeing her, but I'm feeling her. And I'm actually feeling like, actually there's a couple women who have stepped up, but this particular one, I feel like the energy's going this way, which means I feel like that she's in your generation.
Yes.
Can you take that?
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like she's in your generation, and she's also getting I can feel like an emotion, like, you know, like if you almost tear up, like if she could tear up, she would tear up, but she can't because she doesn't have eyes to tear up. But you know, like I feel like she's in your generation. I'm not seeing her, like I said, but I'm feeling her. And she's not talking, and what she did say, she wants to bring another woman through. Like she's coming in with someone.
Okay.
And I feel like that woman is a very close family member, and she's like a previous generation. She's a generation back.
Okay.
But they've come through together. She's not identifying, the first woman, the woman who got emotional is not identifying herself, but she said that the woman that's coming through with her is your mother. Can you take that?
Yes.
And other people are coming through. I almost feel like there's a family get-together about to happen.
I hope so.
You know, and sometimes that happens, you know, by the time we're done, like we're sitting around the table having tea, or, you know, I'm picturing kind of like bottles of beer right now. I feel like there's an energy of like a family get-together. So the first woman who's in your generation came through. She brought through the woman who she identified as your mother. And then I feel like they also are bringing through a man. Okay. And it's very interesting because I'm not seeing anyone right now. I'm feeling them. Sometimes I see things, sometimes I hear things, sometimes I feel things. Right now I'm doing a lot of feeling. I feel like there's a man. I feel like, I'm hearing he's also a previous generation. Can you take that?
Yes.
One. And what I do is like I feel the energy, and it's hard to explain. So it's like a previous generation, like one back as opposed to like two. You know what I mean? So this is like one back. And he's showing me, I'm looking here because I'm seeing symbols, and he's showing me this button-down shirt, but it's kind of like casual, like this. I feel like this is the type of a guy that would have taken his shirt out of the dryer and put it on.
Okay.
You know, like not
felt like he needed to iron it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I feel like it almost looks kind of like not wrinkled, but he was like he wasn't the type of guy where he felt like he needed to take that to get it pressed. And he's showing me also the shirt is tucked in, but there's a belly like hanging up over the shirt. Can you take that?
Oh yes.
You know, and he's like, he's showing me that that's really an identifying symbol for him. But what I'm also feeling is the fact that, like the casualness and I don't want to say he didn't care about how he looked, but it was definitely just pick up the shirt and put it on. It looks kind of rumpled.
Okay.
Can you take that?
Yes.
So the three of them are here together, and I'm hearing, no, wait, there's more. She's like, like one of those commercials. No, wait, there's more. Another man is stepping through. I also feel like this is the energy, like I said, I feel the energy go like this, which to me means your generation, but I also feel it's like your generation, but family.
Yes.
And male.
Yes.
Okay. They're here together. They're like, no, wait, there's more. Two back. There's two people, two back. So this would be like grandparents.
Okay.
Maternal.
Okay.
Can you take that?
Yes.
Okay. And what they give for me, I'm like, but who? And they're like M. So they give me these quick symbols like M maternal, it's P paternal, like. Okay. And because sometimes like maternal and paternal are easy for me to hear, but actually sometimes short words like yes and no, both at one point and early. We talked about this where it was like earlier, and it's like back in my earlier mediumship, yes and no are both one syllable words. They both sounded like so they changed it to Y and N. So then anyway, maternal, grandparents. What I'm being shown right now, and when I was talking about maternal grandparents, is I'm actually shown, and I actually get this symbol a lot, and the symbol it intends to be for, and why I'm looking over to the side and down is because that's like in this area of the rug is where I'm seeing things right now, for whatever reason, as opposed to like over there, so that's why I'm looking here. But what they're showing me is, who is it? Wilma Flintstone, and I think the symbol is the hair. I'm seeing Wilma Flintstone. I'm not going to interpret the symbol first of all. It's Wilma Flintstone, but in the past when I've gotten that, it has to do with the hair. But she's also showing me. You know how Wilma was like the Barbie of the Stone Age, but there's an X through that. So like this woman's like telling me that's not me. I'm feeling I don't see her, but I'm seeing Wilma in all her svelteness, but it's like an X through it. But I'm feeling like sort of heavy, but not, how do I word this? Okay. I want to use the word buxom. I'm feeling buxom, and I'm feeling like kind of big around the middle.
Okay.
Can you take that?
For a grandmother? Yes.
Yes. But I also feel like this grandmother, you know how like my grandmother, for example, you never saw her in a dress. I'm sorry, take that back. She always wore like the grandmother dress. I'm feeling like this grandmother would have been comfortable in pants.
I never knew her to wear pants.
Okay.
I didn't see her often because she lived quite far, but I don't recall ever seeing her in slacks.
Okay. I will take that, but I'm seeing her wearing slacks.
Okay.
And I can't change that.
Sure.
It's part of like, but I understand what you're saying. And what she's showing me is that these slacks, I mean, you know, again, because I'm feeling kind of big around the middle, but not like excessively so, that, you know, that because she's wearing these slacks, it kind of accentuates her middle area. So you understand who's here, because actually quite a few
I
people
guess so. Yes.
quite a few people stepped up. This is one of those where I hear keep talking. I'm like,
Okay.
well, it'd be helpful if you said something. Yeah. I mean, the family get together. The daughter. There's something about the girl. Not the girl, but the first person that stepped up. The first person that stepped up. I felt her step in, but I'm not feeling anything else about her. I really feel like it was her role right now today to bring your mother through.
Okay.
The feeling is, and again, this group, and for whatever reason, is quiet. They're not talking to me, but they're allowing me to feel them, and they're showing me messages. So, you know, I feel like this is like, I feel like this is unusual, and like if this was a real family get-together, like they wouldn't. It's not the like a family that like sat around saying like, what are we going to talk about next? Like I'm feeling like. But no one's saying anything, but the energy I'm feeling is one of communication, I guess. I mean, I feel like I know that that's the word that I heard, that
Would it be helpful if Maryanne kind of responds to you and validates who you're talking about and whether it's a certain person or?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm just.
I don't know what you
wondering.
mean.
So I
Because
mean,
yeah.
Can you take what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
How
can
about
take
yeah.
generationally who hopefully is there, but the idea of them being quiet doesn't validate anything for
Right.
me.
And that's what I had said, that I felt like that was, how I said it, that I felt like if this was a family get-together, that was not the way it would be. That I feel like they're not talking right now. They're not coming in like...
None of them can give you a name or a day that they passed or an age or anything unique about them.
All right, the man who stepped up that showed me like the ruffled, the wrinkled shirt, and like he was allowing me to feel, and like he is, I'm trying to, in terms of estimating an age, I can't say guesstimating an age, but I mean, I would say that like, it almost feels like, or it looks like it would be like late 60s. I don't know, you know, it's, like I don't feel that person was, he doesn't look elderly to me, you know what I mean?
So do you know what she was talking about? Who?
Do you want me to tell you how
Yeah.
old my dad was when he passed?
Well, I think probably, yeah, if you can validate and just say some of the things that she said, whether...
Because he looks like late 60s, and like the number 67 is like kind of, is showing up.
Well, he was 75. when he
Okay.
passed. So I'm not sure how 67 would fit into anything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But the way Regina described about the shirt, how he would take it out and put on. I mean, can you relate to that or?
Oh, I can. I mean, when he was working, he had to dress every day in a shirt and tie. But once he retired, he probably discarded every tie he owned and
Right.
was happy to be in a sports shirt, and was not particularly meticulous.
We're not particularly meticulous. He's also, I mean, there also seems to be like what he's showing me is like his hair, and that he didn't seem to be particularly meticulous about that as well. And I'm not saying he wasn't clean, but it wasn't the type of guy that like I know someone right now that if he has to go for his regular trims if the hair starts to touch the top of his ears, like this was more like, you understand what I'm saying?
Do you want me to tell you what his hairstyle was?
No.
Well, we need
I'm
to.
not done.
Yeah, probably. We only have a few more minutes, so we need
Oh,
to
really?
wrap
Okay.
up. Yeah, and so.
Because we haven't even gotten like to the message part of like why they're here and what they have to say to her.
Yeah. Okay. Go
But
ahead.
the hair, I'm what I'm the hair that I'm picturing right now is and that's why I said no, because I was picturing hair and I just hadn't gotten that with all that was happening to like communicate it. But what I'm picturing is like for a man, it's not. He was like I'm just almost picturing like a comb over type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not, it's not like a buzz cut. It seemed like he's in this. What I'm picturing is like a salt and pepper. Like I'm not picturing like a total gray or dark, but it's like it looks like almost salt and pepper. But at the same time, you know how sometimes salt and pepper is more gray than dark.
He was a buzz cut guy.
He was a buzz cut guy because that's not what I'm picturing.
Is this somebody else that?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Right. Well, I will give you that, but I am
Okay.
not picturing a buzz cut, so I
Okay.
can't change it.
Right.
Okay. So now, yeah, you want to tell us that from what Regina described, who came today? Did you see some of the people that we talked earlier that you wanted to?
Do you want me to
see.
say, Regina?
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, if you can go ahead and say it now.
What I'm hearing, though, there's like, do I have like a second? Because they're
Yeah,
talking
okay.
about a daughter, and they're
Okay.
talking about having a wonderful life abroad, and
You have hit the nail on the head with that one.
like they're very encouraging about, like, of course, as a mother, you would have concerns, but like they're just like let the leash go.
That's the most validating thing I've heard right now.
Oh, okay.
My younger daughter, lived 2 years in Australia, 7 months in Vietnam, and next week she's leaving for Turkey. And I'm anguished inside, and I am letting go. But of course, I'm always concerned. So that's probably the single most validating thing when you say a daughter living abroad.
And that's good. That's good. And the point that they want to make, though, is relinquishing that there are, there have been previous trips, but like this particular one coming up is going to be the word that's being used is bountiful.
Okay.
Bountiful, like in terms of relationship,
Okay.
in terms of friendship. Like I feel like there's going to be more of a connection with this country for your daughter.
Okay. That's really nice to hear.
More so than in the past.
Okay.
Like I feel like there was like a lack of a connection or not really actually enjoying being in the countries that she might have been in previously. But this one, there's going to be friends made, enjoying the culture, enjoying the food, enjoying the language, enjoying being there. It's like, 'cause what I'm feeling from them is that was not the case in the past. And maybe in the case in the past was almost like, oh, I mean, I think I need to go home. Like I'll,
You're exactly right.
I came, but I got to do what I had to do and literally maybe like get out of here.
You're right.
So this one will be different, is what they're saying.
That's extremely validating. The whole part about the abroad, because Carolyn had difficulty with the Vietnamese language. She felt very isolated, and she actually came home sooner than she was originally scheduled to. So,
Well, they're communicating that this one will be much better.
very good.
Well, that's great. So did you feel like you get what you want? Probably, we don't have that much time. This show is too short. We need like at least 1 hour more. Yeah, but do you feel like you get what you
Well,
came here?
I'm not sure
Some of the
who
things?
exactly delivered a message, but this message about this experience is going to be a good one for her. That's very validating because it's very heavy on my mind since she made her announcement that she was going to be leaving again.
Okay, but it sounds like you did get quite a few family members' spirits came through, and today, and it was like a family reunion.
It was like a family reunion. I mean, as I mentioned, like to me, it felt, what was, each session is different. And this was one in which I was feeling a lot of things, but this particular group, as I mentioned, was quiet, and they weren't showing me a lot. It was more, it was feeling them.
Well, thank you so much, Regina.
Thank you.
For coming to the show, and thank you, Maryanne, for
Thank
coming to
you.
the show.
Thank you.
So, again, this is an unbelievable experience, and whether you believe in medium or not, I think as long as you keep your heart open, you might get some unbelievable and just very happy experiences. Stay tuned. See you next time.